I can speak to that because I come from that. If you're so smart, why haven't you bought the property? Why haven't you started a business? Because you crushed by analysis paralysis. And this is one where it just paralyzes you. Because then you look at the real estate chart, you're like, okay, I should avoid summer and I have to wait for the fall because there's more competition. And I think this is where a lot of our clients that come in into the STR Like the Best program, they've done a lot of the work already. They just don't know where to start. I looked at 5 markets. Which one's the best? We have a system. Let's figure that out. I looked at these properties. Are my numbers right? Like, that's a big one. Should I wait now to do it, or wait till I can hit my material participation requirement, my 100 hours? Or should I wait till after the season because of seasonality? So there's always a reason not to do it. But to your earlier point, just will continue to run. Hi, Ron. Welcome to STR Like the Best. I'm your host, Michael Chang. I have Elizabeth Chang here with me as well. Hey, Liz.
Hi, everyone.
If it's your first time listening to the show, welcome. Our core focus on this podcast is to help you better invest both your time and money. And for Liz and I, that's been short-term rentals. So, if you're looking to invest in short-term rentals, if you have a good job, looking to better invest your capital, look for some tax savings, we think short-term rentals is a great place to start. So if that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. And I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Liz, what's our topic today? Now it's going to kick it off. Switch it up. What's our topic for today?
Sure. So the topic today is, when is the best time to buy a short-term rental property? Is it beginning of year, mid of the year, end of year? There's many different theories out there, I would say, people share. And we want to talk about how we think about it and the pros and cons of buying earlier in the year versus later in the year.
Well, there's that real estate adage, right? The best time to buy real estate was yesterday.
Yes. And I still truly believe that.
So what does that mean?
If you ask me when's the best time to buy, and it really is yesterday, today, keep looking. We always continue looking at the property at any given time throughout the year. And when the right opportunity comes, you're ready to jump on. So you're not always waiting for the next opportunity, always waiting for that next downturn. You don't have a crystal ball. It's hard. There's a lot of headline noises out there, but it's the more you learn about real estate, the more you're preparing yourself to be ready. When the deals come, you really can see it and you're ready to jump on regardless of the timing, right? Also, the longer you wait, real estate historically appreciate over time, right? There's ups and downs, there are cycles. Over time, it appreciates at average, I would say conservatively 3 to 4% a year, right? So the longer you wait, the higher price you're paying.
So I think it's a really good point that you highlighted, is being prepared, right? Because the more prepared you are, and if you're listening to this and maybe you're in that research, that preparation mode, but the more that you research, the more you understand about maybe that particular market, maybe that particular property, maybe just short-term rentals in general. The nice thing about doing your work and being consistent about doing your work is you see outliers. What do I mean by that? Not every deal is a good deal. A lot of deals aren't good deals. So you learn to train your mind to look at things that are like average or like not great. And when you see that outlier, you see that one property, like, whoa, this is different. I got to jump on this. And maybe I'll just kind of loop that back to when we bought that place in the Catskills in 2024, how, when it came up, you're like, huh.
Yeah, immediately, the same day.
We got to drive 3+ hours to go and see it immediately.
And that was us looking for over a year. We've been looking with a broker, looking for off market, looking on MLS. Just nothing really pencils out or really caught our eyes. I would say a misrepresented house. The picture does not do it justice at all.
What are some things that catch your eye when you see something that could be a special property?
I think for us, right, when we look at it, it's one, the market location is important. So just say that's a given. You already pick your location. You already know this is a good market you want to target on. I think what we are looking for is the build, the uniqueness of the house. Does it have that wow factor? Can you actually picture that based on what you're seeing? Do you have a vision for it, right? And does that hit that market's demand? What guests are looking for? For example, what people are looking for, mountain market is very different from the urban. The size of the house matters. the yard space matters. All that fun stuff can come together.
Hmm.
And yeah, you need to train your eyes over a period of time to really see it.
Like you mentioned bad pictures, right? Like, is it like, why was that such a flag for you? And you're like, well, this picture's really bad, but I know this to be good.
Yeah, and that's one thing investor actually like. Yeah, that's your unfair advantage. You know it's misrepresented in a way that's just bad photo. But the house, it was the classic chalet A-frame that we know the market crave. And it has really unique wide open ceiling, but it's really hard to see in the photo. It's because I have seen other listing and I have seen other properties similar to that, and they are performing at a very high level. I have seen the revenue. I have done my research. So the second it hits, I'm like, okay, why the photos are so bad? It looks like someone just snapped it in the dark, maybe 6, 7 p.m. with the iPhone. But it has that shadow of the A-frame and the window reflection. So I was like, I think this may be a good one. So immediately, the second you get listed, we reach out to the broker we work with, and it's like, can you go out today, do a video? And that was it.
That speed of action is really important. And that goes to the point about doing the work, because as we've done the work, we have the relationship there. So when we saw something, maybe to reach out to the right STR agent in that market and be like, okay, hey, go and take a look at this, take a video for me, verifying kind of what I think before, we make the trip up there. And we're able to do that. I think we got the video back the next day and we set the showing the day after. And then we made the offer that same night. And this comes with the preparation. You're able to move so quickly because we've done all the work. So right when we know something works, we're going to jump right on it. And
Yeah.
if you remember on that, just a little bit of more context on that, had we waited, we probably wouldn't have gotten it because we won the bid. We went up there with our then kind of newborn daughter. We brought her up there and we looked at it. We really liked it. We met the owner and his wife, and they saw our kid and they were like happy. And they're like, oh, cool. But he was a very economic guy, so he wasn't going to be like, give us a discount. It would have just been like
Yeah.
a jump ball. He would have went in our favor. But we made a full price offer that night. And they came back to us and said, we have another full price offer that came in. And had we not seen it, probably wouldn't have made that offer. So we would have lost it too, is we were so confident in that we were saying, hey, like we're willing to buy the furniture from you, right? Even though we weren't going to use any of it. So there's another like couple $1,000s that we basically had to give up for like furniture we were going to use. We had actually gone and seen it. The other person hadn't. So it gives them more credibility. Like, hey, look, we've seen it. We like it. You've met us, real people. We want it. And that in the end, I don't think
Hmm.
it was like we won because we outbidded the person by like
Hmm.
$3,000. It was because we're so confident in our approach that we were up there and they saw us, and that's how we won the deal. It's been a good investment.
It is. And then it ties back to when's the best time to buy? Does it really matter as much? Right. And maybe you can talk about like the pros and cons. Like if some people want to be super strategic to the teeth, there's pros and cons to it. Sometimes I feel like it make you over analyzing everything and
Yeah.
end up missing opportunities in a way.
I can speak to that because I come from that. If you're so smart, kind of why haven't you bought the property? Why haven't you started a business? Because you crushed by analysis paralysis. And this is one where it just paralyzes you. And then you understand in the end, it doesn't really matter. Because then you look at the real estate chart, you're like, okay, I should avoid summer and I have to wait for the fall because there's more competition. But then the fall comes and all the good inventory is gone. And then now you're like, well, why isn't anything there? And then you wait until the end of the year when it's the big year end rush. And you're like, oh my God, like, why is it so competitive now? Why don't I just wait until January when things slow down? And then I'll have, less competition. And then when January comes around, then there's no inventory again. And then you're just like stuck in this cycle and just loop, right? And then you get frustrated and then you move on to something else. Or worse off, you buy something last minute that like you just feel, man, I've done all this work. I got to do something. I need to, and I think that's actually the worst
Yeah.
mistake an investor can do.
The
Like you feel like
pressure.
the pressure of like doing something because you've done the work. And I think this is where, a lot of our clients that come in into the STR Like the Best program, they've done a lot of the work already. They just don't know where to start. I looked at 5 markets. Which one's the best? We have a system. Let's figure that out. I looked at these properties. Are my numbers right? Like that's a big one. Should I wait now to do it, or wait so I can hit my material participation requirement, my 100 hours? Or should I wait till after the season because of seasonality? So there's always a reason not to do it, but to your earlier point, just will continue to run. And then you get in a situation where it's like, man, I was looking at these houses, they were like 500K and now they're 650. Like, is it worth it? Like, did I lose out? Is it overpriced now? And then you beat yourself up because, dang it, why didn't I buy it for 500? It's worth 650 now.
Mhm.
Right? Ask me how I know. Gone through this. It can be exhausting. And then there's such an opportunity cost.
Yeah. And then for the people who are starting to look now, you think there's a lot of time all the way through end of year. There's actually not. What we're seeing now in the market is people are making offers left and right. It's so competitive right now with the right property. It goes really quickly. Summer season, selling season is here. So it's not that straightforward, easy to find that one property that really works with that trifecta that we talk, the holy trinity that we talk about: cash flow, tax saving, and also appreciation. So you're not rushing, right? So you want to start looking, start training your eye, your brain, how to look at the right property. And it takes time. And then what we have seen people who have done towards the end of year, yes, you might be able to kind of rush everything through the last 3 months, but it definitely is a lot of pressure. And that could cloud, in a way, it could cloud decision making. But if you get it right, yeah, you might be doing a little less work than other people because toward the end of the year, you just buy something really turnkey and ready to go.
I mean, like, I think on that point, like, when's the best time to start? You're exactly right. You can make a case for starting now or starting later. And I'll
Yeah.
say this, right? We've had two clients join recently. They wanted to start, get set up now. And then one's going to be in Europe for a month. One's going to be in Korea. That, their kids graduating from college and they're doing their trip before the kid, their son goes to school. Full time, goes
Mhm.
to college. Another one, they're going to Korea for a month to go back home and visit kind of their in-laws, right? And there's some other cages. So if you want to do that, start now, right? Even if you're traveling, whatever you're doing, right? Start to research now. Understand where you are in that process of I need to start narrowing down maybe my price range or my markets, right? Because this is some stuff we do up front because we look at someone's situation and like identify, okay, like what are the markets going to work for you based on how much you have to invest, like, your different, your capacity, your constraints. So if you want to do it this year, you should start now. Even if you're busy over the summer, it's fine. Do the work remotely. You have a computer and a phone. And then, when you come back from your vacation, then at least have some momentum and get that started. The last thing that you should do is just put it off completely and just like, hey, I'm going to write off the summer and then start in post Labor Day. Because one, you're going to be busy at work. Two, you're going to be a cold start and you're going to rush. Either start to work or continue that work that you're doing. Look, understand how you analyze a property. Keep looking.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you this, it's like, if you don't look, I guarantee you'll never find a property if you don't look. Then you gotta look.
Some people would say, I really just don't have bandwidth with what's going on right now. So I can only start later toward the Q4 of the year, which is fine. But I think the mentality would be, if you don't hit this year, it's okay. You can buy that right property and don't rush and give yourself that mental pressure that, especially if this is your first investment, if you've gone through this kind of pressure or stress, would you be more willing to do the second one or less likely, right? So I think buying the right properties is more important than the tax benefit alone in this case. So just be prepared. Maybe not this year, then next year,
I
January.
I think we always say the STR strategy is not a tax strategy. This is a real estate investment strategy with a very attractive tax component. What do we mean by that?
Mhm.
Right? If you buy it this year, but you can't get it up and running until next year, it's okay. Like, you'll take the benefit in 2027. It's okay, right? The worst thing you want to do is buy something that doesn't work, because you buy something that doesn't work. Yes, you take the tax benefit this year, but if you sell it, right, and you don't 1031 to do something with it, you have to pay it all back. You have to pay back all the tax benefits. So this is not a deduction, it's a deferral, right? The deferral ends if you no longer own the property. So what is of critical, absolute critical importance, and if you're listening, this is the one real this is the takeaway that you should get from it, is buy the right property. buy the right property. Don't buy it just for a tax benefit. Buy it as a real estate investment, something that is going to cash flow for you. It's going to appreciate over time, and it's going to deliver a tax benefit for you. And a way that you keep those tax benefit is holding the property. And how do you hold the property? Because it cash flows and it appreciates, right? People generally hold on to things that make money for them and grow in value. So if you do that right, you'll keep the tax benefits, and this could be that first property will be a cornerstone in your financial future, your net worth. Because fundamentally, if you don't get that first one right, you'll never do it again. And then just is all for naught. And just such a powerful strategy with bonus depreciation permanent now that it pays to do the first one right. Right? It doesn't have to hit it out of the park. You do it right. It does it, and it sets a foundation, a cornerstone for you and your family to grow your net worth in a durable, long-term way. There's no perfect time, but start now, do the work, and when the opportunity comes, you'll see it and you'll be able to action on it.
Agree.
Yeah. Well, look, I hope, helps address and demystify some of the, is there a perfect time? If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a comment, maybe where you're stuck, or if you've been looking for a long time, feel free to send us a message, leave a comment in the show note, and leave a comment in the podcast episode. And if you did enjoy this episode, we'd love if you can subscribe and share it with your spouse, a friend, someone that's interested in real estate. Your support means the world to us. Liz and I really appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode.
See you next episode.